Right now on Denver 7 News at 5 a.m., Colorado leaders are proposing more solutions today to end our fentanyl crisis.
These pills, literally you take one and you have no idea what you're taking.
He definitely had a whole life ahead of him.
We are hearing from more heartbroken families who have lost precious loved ones to these laced drugs.
President Joe Biden is getting a progress report on the administration's effort to restock shelves with baby formula. The relief Colorado parents could see soon. Plus,
empty net, score!
Yeah, crowd goes wild at Ball Arena on the open net goal after the Avs take the first game of the Western Conference Finals. It was not an easy victory. It was a shootout, back and forth the whole time. I've never seen so much scoring in a hockey game, but it should be a fun one to watch. Thanks for joining us. I'm Brian Sanders.
and I'm Jessica Crawford. Kind of a soggy start to our Wednesday. Katie LaSalle here. Katie, the rain will be moving out of here soon, hopefully.
It will. It is really good, though, to see all this moisture. We picked up a good soak overnight, and again this morning, showers will continue and then gradually taper off this afternoon. A live look over Pearl Street Mall in Boulder. Wet conditions across the metro, and depending where you are, a rain-snow mix or some snow falling at higher terrain. Here's a look at our satellite and radar as of right now. Some heavier pockets of rain down through Ken Carroll and Littleton. Showers moving east and some gusty winds over the far eastern plains, Fort Morgan, down through Deer Trail and Agate, picking up some heavy rain at this hour with a rain-snow mix just off into the foothills. You head further west and higher terrain near Genesee up through Georgetown. It is snowing right now, and we have a winter weather advisory in effect until at least noon. That rain-snow mix just south of Castle Rock, and depending where you are, you will definitely find some wet roadways. Jason will have the full breakdown of what we're waking up to this morning in terms of those road conditions. But temperature-wise, we're in the 40s. We'll stay in the 40s through about 7 o'clock, climbing to the mid-50s by 9, and then daytime highs today will stay well below average in the high 50s, low 60s. Winter weather advisory will expire, though, today at noon.
Yeah, I saw a bit of a mix coming in from the south side of town this morning, but it wasn't sticking to the grass. It is sticking to the grass like over a little bit of Monument Hill. Obviously here in Genesee, as you make your way a little bit west of Golden, you're going to see it not only here, but along 285 all the way to Fairplay. It's really snowy over Loveland Pass, Berthoud Pass, and even into Boulder County up in Ward. I was looking at, well, I'll show you that picture in Ward in just a little bit. Take a look at the overall drive here in town, and this is Highway 36 over on Santa Fe, or C470. Denver Tech Center, 225. All wet. Lots of water, lots of standing water out there, and we do have pooling areas in some of those ruts that are in the roadways. They can trap your tires a little bit, and then you might start skipping if you're going at a higher speed. So just keep the speed down, and you should be fine as long as you also have decent tires. So we'll keep an eye on this drive for you. Very wet for you anywhere you want to go.
Thank you, Jason. Well, for months now, we've been telling you about initiatives to end our fentanyl crisis. Hundreds of Coloradans died last year from drugs they didn't know were mixed with fentanyl. Governor Polis just signed a bill into law adding harsher penalties for dealers and creating more options for prevention and treatment. Denver 7's Colette Bordelon joins us this morning live, though, because today we'll hear from the Colorado State Patrol about what they're doing to keep the drugs off our streets.
That announcement expected to happen at 10 this morning, and those behind it are calling it a major update in this fight against fentanyl related to the seizure of the deadly synthetic opioid that they may have just made, while countless families are still living through the impact of this crisis, like one preparing to bury their 15-year-old child. Loved ones say Josiah Velasquez took a blue pill laced with fentanyl and never regained consciousness in mid-May. Velasquez was on life support for a week at Children's Hospital, Colorado. Now the teen's brother is raising awareness about the dangers of these counterfeit pills.
These pills, literally you take one and you have no idea what you're taking, and that's it. You don't get a second chance.
I feel like he tried doing this to fit in, and that's one thing like I want to get across to other people is don't feel that you have to try something just to fit in, because at the end of the day you are who you are, and he was a very good person.
Now the family is screen printing things like t-shirts and candles. They'll be selling those items with messages about the dangers of fentanyl-laced counterfeit pills. Any money made off of them will go toward funeral expenses. There's also a GoFundMe you can find on thedenverchannel.com right now. Anyone with information about Velasquez's death is asked to call Arvada Police, and that announcement from law enforcement will be there. The second we have those details, we'll bring them to you. Live in Denver, Colette Bortle on Denver 7.
Thank you, Colette. The conversation on fentanyl doesn't stop either. Tomorrow, Denver Mayor Michael Hancock and Colorado Attorney General Phil Weiser will begin a two-day conference on fentanyl. The mayor talked about the program with us on our sister station, Local 3.
Everybody wants to talk about how we can best handle this crisis because people are dying on our streets today, and we've got to act quickly. This is a public health crisis. We also have to prepare law enforcement to address it, but we got to do everything we can through law enforcement to get these drugs and the drug dealers off our streets.
That summit will include regional and statewide law enforcement looking at how to best fight the crisis.
A Fort Collins police officer is under arrest for violating a protection order. Valerie Pedraza was already charged with third-degree assault and domestic violence. Deputies say she kept trying to contact the victim. Pedraza is on administrative leave from the department pending the results of an internal investigation. A correctional officer is recovering this morning after an inmate stabbed him. 17-year-old Juan Asagueda is an inmate at Platte Valley Youth Services in Greeley. Officials say he was having a dental procedure in Lakeside when he stabbed the officer with a knife and ran away. A surveillance image captured the inmate lunging at the officer with the knife raised. The teen was captured after an hours-long search, hiding in the garage of an unoccupied home. Avs fans are breathing a sign of relief this morning. The Western Conference Finals are off to a thrilling start. For the second time in less than a week, the Avs watched a comfortable lead just slip away, but they held on though against the Oilers. The final score was 8-6, 14 goals just in Game 1.
We would prefer to not have an 8-6 game. We're up 7-3. We got to find a way just to get the momentum back a little bit as they push, but that's playoff hockey. There's so many momentum swings.
Game 2 is tomorrow night at 6 back at Ball Arena. It's still unclear if goalie Darcy Kemper can play. The team is monitoring his upper body injury.
It is a very soggy start to the month of June. Temperatures outside right now cool in the low 40s. If you're taking the dogs out this morning, definitely want a rain jacket and umbrella. Later on this afternoon, we will dry out. More on your full forecast when we come back.
And right now we're driving along southbound I-25 going down towards Yale, and you can see how wet the conditions are right now. You're gonna have the wipers going constantly. You're gonna see some standing water out there. A very wet drive, but anywhere you want to go here this morning until that rain tapers off, we are gonna see some slick conditions, and also that standing water is a problem here for us this morning.
Well, despite our hot housing market and high prices right now, Colorado is still a top search on Zillow. The specific neighborhoods ranked among the most popular in the country.
I'm John Matarese. Is Home Depot really having a big clearance sale, or could it all be a scam? A warning before you shop online. Coming up.